Aber sowas wie Aufbruch ist schon sichtbar. Einfach.
German, a language spoken by over 100 million people around the world. It's a language of European business and culture. Most students learning German find some words are easier to say than others. Guten Tag und Willkommen. I'm Jewel. In this program, we'll be confronting and conquering some of the challenges of German pronunciation. We'll begin by reviewing the alphabet, then move on to challenging consonants, vowels, diphthongs, umlauts, and finally review complex words and sounds. At the end of the program, you'll have a chance to practice as we present 10 challenging German phrases.
One of the hardest things is the S can take on so many sounds and you're not used to it. If you see a double S, you obviously know the sound.
I have problems with the ich sound in the ach because it's kind of throaty, so it's hard to pronounce in German because we don't have that in English either.
It's pretty difficult to roll the R's sometimes, the ich, and getting the phlegm in your throat, whatever you have to do. It can just, they're different sounds, so it's trying to get your mind and your mouth reaccustomed to how you're trying to say things.
There's no doubt that for some of you, German may be a difficult language to master, but as with most things, a little practice goes a long way. Take a look at these two sentences. Someone who is just starting to learn German may read them like this.
Ich habe zwei Jahre in München Deutsch gelernt, Sprachen öffnen in New Welt.
This is how a native German would read them.
Ich habe 2 Jahre in München Deutsch gelernt. Sprachen öffnen eine neue Welt.
Very different, right? Speaking requires the use of several facial muscles. You've trained those muscles to pronounce English sounds. Now you must train them to make German ones. Muscles in the mouth, tongue, lips, throat, and neck are more tense for producing some German sounds than English sounds. If you're a beginner, you may want to exaggerate your pronunciation until it becomes a habit for you. In this program, we will be demonstrating some techniques for learning to pronounce German words. We'll begin with individual sounds and then review combinations of sounds. For consistency, we will be using standard German in our examples and conversations. Feel free to repeat the sounds or words after you hear them. In between each segment, I'll have a Zungenbrecher for you to practice. Don't worry if you don't get it the first time. Just remember that practice makes perfect. Let's begin with the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, Ä, Ö, Ü, S.
Now that we've reviewed the alphabet, let's take a closer look at some of the more challenging parts of pronouncing German words. We've just reviewed the alphabet, but keep in mind that there are times when some letters, like the B, D, and G, don't get pronounced the way you've just heard. When they occur at the end of a word, they get pronounced differently. The B takes on a P sound.
gelb,
D takes on a T sound.
Kind,
And the G takes on a K sound.
Tag,
Words ending in IG end with a ich sound, not an ig.
König,
Now, if those letters occur anywhere else in a word, they usually get the German pronunciation of the consonant.
gelbe, Kinder, Tage, Königin.
There are two ways to pronounce the R, and both are correct. The difference is regional. People from northern Germany pronounce the R from the back of the throat. This is known as the uvular R.
Reden, rot, rock.
If you want to try the uvular R, take a small sip of water. Be sure not to gargle the water. If you do, you're too far back in the throat. Let the sip float to the back of your mouth and sing without swallowing, like this. Now you've found where the uvular R is produced. Keep practicing and soon you won't need the water. People from southern Germany trill their R's.
Reden, rot, rock.
If you want to learn to trill your R's, try this exercise. Say the word patter very fast over and over again. That will help you learn the quick tongue movements needed for trilling the R.
Patter, 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 patter.
Your goal is to make the R sound like the Spanish R. As you learn to speak German, there will be times when you'll trill your R's and other times when you'll pronounce it with a slight gargle. Either style is acceptable. Sometimes the R sound gets swallowed or isn't noticeable at all. It is a reduced sound, like in the English word ear. Listen to these examples.
Mir, studiert, Lehrer,
Keep in mind that the R sound at the end of the word is always reduced. Z makes a ts sound. Ts, ts. You know how to say cats, rats, bats, hats. Well, the Z is the same ts sound that you pronounce in those English words. Ts, ts. To make that sound, lightly press the tip of your tongue on the bump right behind your front teeth. Now try saying these words.
Zoo, Zimmer, 10, 2.
But it's not just at the beginning of the word.
Sitzen, geizig, 15.
The ts sound is the same no matter where it is in the word. Is an S always an S? No, not always. The S can be pronounced like Z. An S at the beginning of a word always takes on a Z sound. Think of a B. Bzzz.
Sind, Susi, sagen, Sahne.
The S can sound like an S other times. At the end of a word, S is always S. Think of a snake. S.
Was, Laus, das, Haus, Glas.
Another S sound is sh. Think of a train. Sh, sh, sh. Obviously, you'll hear it in words like
Schule, schön, schreiben.
But you'll also hear the sh sound when the letter S comes before P or T at the beginning of a word.
Spät, sprechen, Spanisch, Stein, Sturm, stellen.
When you see this letter, don't worry. It's just a double S and sounds like the S at the end of a word. In southern Germany, you may hear it called the scharfes S, while in northern Germany, they call it Ezssett. It usually appears after vowel pairs or long vowels.
Spaß, reißen, Straße.
In English, we have the F, V, and W sounds. In German, there is no W sound, only F and V. The F is just F, like in
Fahne, frei, fahren.
The W in German words is always pronounced like the English V, no matter where it appears in the word.
Wunderbar, wandern, zwei, Winter, Erwartung.
The V has two different pronunciations, depending on the origin of the word. In words of German origin, the V is pronounced like F.
Vier, Vater.
But in words of foreign origin, the V gets pronounced like V.
Vitamin, visieren, Visa.
Sometimes in English, we don't pronounce the first letter of a word, like in psychology or gnome. The P and G are silent in these examples. In German, those silent letters get a voice.
Psychologie, Gnome, Gnade.
When the P appears before F and S, the P still gets pronounced. Start the P, but hold it. Let the F or S push it out.
Pfad, Pfeffer, psychisch, Psalm, klopfen.
And the sometimes silent K in the English language, like in the word knee, also gets a voice in German.
Knie,
Samstags spielen Susi und Stefan zusammen Schach.
There are some general rules about pronouncing vowels in German. Vowels can have long sounds or short sounds. German vowels are long when they are followed by a single consonant, followed by a silent H, or by an Ezssett, doubled like AA, EE, OO. When you pronounce German vowels, your lower jaw should remain stationary. In English, we have a tendency to move our jaw.
A, O, A, O.
Did you see how the jaw moved up? In German, once you say the vowel, your jaw shouldn't go up or down.
E, O.
Now let's try these words. Long A.
A, Staat, Bahn, schlafen.
Long E has an A sound, but say it with the lips spread out.
E, beten, geben, bet.
Long I has an E sound, and it's also said with the lips spread out.
I, ihn, viel.
Long O is pronounced with the lips rounded.
O, loben, Ofen.
Long U is pronounced like oo, with the lips rounded.
U, Gut. Buch.
Vowels are short when they are followed by 2 or more consonants. The pronunciations are all very short and clipped. Short A.
A. Bann. Satt.
Short E.
E. Retter. Fest.
Short I.
I. Still. Bitte.
Short O.
O. Offen. Post.
Short U.
U. Strumpf. Stunde.
I bet you never thought that this everyday item could help you practice long and short vowels. For this exercise, you'll need some minimal pairs, 2 words that have only one different sound. Stretch the rubber band out a lot for long vowels and only slightly for short ones, like this. Hüte, Hütte. Stadt, Stadt. Bitte, Bitte.
Zwischen 2 Zwetschgenzweigen zwitschern 2 Schwalben.
Diphthongs are double vowel sounds like ow, oi, and I. AU has an ow sound like in
Braun. Haus. Laufen.
EU and A umlaut U have an oi sound like in
Heute. Häuser. Deuten.
EI and AI have an I sound like in
Ein. Kaiser. Sein.
Be careful with EI and IE. A lot of students get these confused. EI and IE are interesting because it's the second letter that determines a sound, but it takes on the English pronunciation, I or E. Here's a story you can use to help you remember how to pronounce EI and IE in German. If E and I are walking, the second letter does the talking in English. So if I pulls the E along to make EI, then it would be pronounced I.
Drei. Eis. Reiten. Wein.
If E pulls I along, then IE would be pronounced E.
Lieben. Wiese. Wien. Auf der Wiese spielen 3 Mäuse.
As you read your German text, you may see these 2 dots over some letters. This symbol is called an umlaut. An umlaut is not a stress or accent mark, but is used to indicate a change in the vowel. It occurs in German only over the A, O, U, or over the A and AU together. It may be written with the 2 dots, or you may also see it without the dots. It would look like this: AE, OE, UE, and AEU. The umlauts, like other vowel sounds, can be long or short, and some of those sounds are easier to pronounce than others. Long A umlaut.
Spät.
Short A umlaut.
Hätte.
Long O umlaut.
Schön.
Short O umlaut.
Öffnen.
Long U umlaut.
Schüler.
Short U umlaut.
Glück.
A umlaut U.
Häuser.
A fun and tasty way to improve your umlaut pronunciation is to place a little round lollipop on your tongue while saying the sounds. It helps you focus on lip and tongue positions so that you can make the correct sounds. To pronounce the U umlaut, you're going to take features of the E sound and the U sound. For the E, your jaws are close together, your lips are spread apart like a smile, and your tongue is in the front behind your bottom teeth. You'll be able to see the whole stick of the lollipop.
Ü, Ü, Ü.
For the U, your jaw is also close together, but your lips are rounded and your tongue is in the back of your mouth. So the tongue pulls the lollipop towards the back of your mouth, and only a little part of the lollipop stick is seen.
U, U, U.
For the U umlaut, you're going to combine some of the things you just did. Your lips should be rounded like when pronouncing the U, and your tongue is in the front behind your bottom teeth like when you say the E. Now place the lollipop behind your teeth and press the tip of your tongue against it. This helps you know where your tongue is at all times. Think of nothing else than saying E. Then slowly round your lips around the lollipop.
Ü, 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 Ü.
You've just pronounced the U umlaut. Let's try the same pronunciation exercise with the O umlaut. This time you're going to take the features of the A and the O. For the A, the jaw is a little further apart. Your lips are spread like a smile, and your tongue is in the front behind your bottom teeth.
E, E, E.
For the O, your jaw is also a little further apart. Your lips are rounded, but your tongue is in the back of your mouth.
O, O, O.
Now place the lollipop behind your teeth and press the tip of your tongue against it. So, for the O umlaut, start out by saying A. Then round your lips. Your tongue is in the front behind your bottom teeth.
E, E.
See how the lips are shaped and where the lollipop should be. You've just pronounced the O umlaut. The difference between U umlaut and O umlaut is determined by the position of your jaw. The jaw will be higher for the U umlaut than the O umlaut.
Ö, Ü.
Es blüht so schön, wenn Österreichs Blumen blühen.
Ich, ach. These are some of the hardest sounds to learn in German. The CH sound can be either hard or soft, depending on what letters are around it. The hard CH sound occurs after A, O, U, or AU.
Buch. Suchen. Dach. Bach.
It's soft after E, I, and umlauts. A way to remember how it's pronounced is to think of a cat.
Pech. Sicht. Mächtig. Möchte.
Adding an S to CH to make CHS changes the pronunciation. CHS makes a K sound.
Lachs. Sechs. Wachsen.
Another challenging combination is QU, which is pronounced like KV.
Quarz. Quelle. Quark. Quatsch. Sechs kleine Drachen lachen und kichern mit offenem Rachen.
Now let's take all that we've learned today and put it to the test. We're about to follow two friends, Jan and Sabine, through their day. See if you can catch some of the challenges and how they overcome them.
Hallo, wie geht's?
Super, ich fahre bald in den Urlaub.
Ist ja toll. Wo fährst du hin?
Ich fahre nach München, um einen Freund zu besuchen.
Habt ihr schon Pläne gemacht?
Ja, wir möchten uns ein paar Schlösser und Museen ansehen. Ich hoffe auch, dass ich ein Fußballspiel sehen kann.
Hört sich ja gut an. Hoffentlich kann ich das nächstes Jahr auch machen. Ich vermisse das Essen, vor allem die Weißwürste mit Brezen und süßem Senf.
Genau, ich kann es kaum erwarten.
That may be a typical conversation between two German students, but I heard them say some challenging words. Sabine got through a couple of umlauts. Pay attention to how she says them.
Ist ja toll. Wo fährst du hin?
Now let's look at Jan's line about watching a soccer game. Listen for the word Fußballspiel. In the word Fußballspiel, you've got a couple of pronunciation challenges. The SP making the SP sound and the double S sound in the Ezssett.
Ja, wir möchten uns ein paar Schlösser und Museen ansehen. Ich hoffe auch, dass ich ein Fußballspiel sehen kann.
Now let's see Jan and Sabine at the market.
Dieses Geschäft hat die beste Schokolade.
Ich weiß, die haben eine so große Auswahl. Ich glaube, ich kaufe auch Spätzle.
Guten Tag. Habt ihr alles gefunden, was ihr braucht?
Haben Sie die neue Brigitte?
Ja, dort drüben. Sonst noch etwas?
Nein, danke. Wie viel kostet das zusammen?
7 Euro.
Did you catch all that? Let's take a minute to review a couple of things. Pay attention to Jan's pronunciation of Spätzle with the A umlaut.
Ich glaube, ich kaufe auch Spätzle.
Now let's listen to Sabine asking for the new edition of Brigitte. Notice how the diphthong EU gets pronounced oi in the word neue.
Haben Sie die neue Brigitte?
Now it's your turn to give German a try. I hope you'll stick with it and know that the most challenging parts of German can be overcome with just a little practice and some hard work. Remember what we have reviewed today and try some of these pronunciation techniques on these phrases. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen.
Der Klügere gibt nach. Scherben bringen Glück. Übung macht den Meister. Du machst aus einer Mücke einen Elefanten. Viele Köche verderben den Brei. Übermut tut selten gut. Vorsicht ist die Mutter der Porzellankiste. Schlau wie ein Fuchs. Morgenstund hat Gold im Mund. Ein Spatz in der Hand ist besser als 3 auf dem Dach.